Alright, well, it's the next day. I figured this would be the best way to do it. I was going to write this whole big thing online and you guys can read the blog or whatever, but I thought this could be faster. The marathon is done. And I actually feel pretty good. I feel okay. Like my body, yeah, I still feel the quirks or whatever, but it's not too bad. I didn't really get too much sleep, but it's okay. That's kind of my fault. I was actually setting up my shirt, which I'll show some shots and you guys can see what it looks like. It was about 5:30. I told Edward I was going to be at his house at 5:30, but I ended up waking up at that time. And he's like, "Where are you, Tepe? You're supposed to be here." But he had just woken up too, so it really doesn't matter. We left. We went to my dad's house, picked up my dad. My dad drove us out there, and there were a ton of cars. My dad just ended up like parking on the side of the road. Prior experiences of like other people, they've told me to lube up. It's not that type of lubing. Don't think nasty. And yeah, I used plenty of it, so I didn't have to like, you know, I didn't chafe or anything, and you know, like the whole right there. Yeah. Oh, I really needed to use the bathroom in the morning, like hardcore. When I got to it, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the line's back there." It was like 2 blocks down. And then finally I see the Flavor Dave. And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And the Flavor! He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" So I'm like, "Dude, where's your brother?" "Oh, he's over there, like at the front of the line with my family." The front of the line? I rushed over. I think I bumped over like 2 little kids. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's like, you know, I used the restroom and then we took off. I stretched and everything. And then we started walking over to where the actual starting line was. And there were at least 20,000 people in that little spot. There were a lot of people. And finally, you know, the whistle goes off or whatever. Everybody started like running and stuff. And everybody's cheering. Like, ah! It took us about 6-7 minutes to actually pass the starting line because there were so many people there. Like I was running with Ed and we're like I looked back like, you know, a few times and he was there, but then when I looked back like the last time he wasn't there anymore. So I ran it. It was good. I was like used to running 10-11 miles. Sure enough, that's what I ran perfectly. By the time I got to like mile 11, I'm like, I'm kind of thirsty now. I gotta drink something. Like handing out oranges and bananas and stuff, which was really cool because even people like from their houses, they're just there. They're like, "Oh, yeah." And then I realized that it's sort of a mistake to go 10-11 miles without drinking anything because you're pretty much using it all. Your body's like asking for water. And I guess I got my second wind or whatever, and I ran the next like 8 up to mile 18, 19. When I got to mile 20, I'm like, okay, this is where people have been telling me, you know, this is where the actual race starts. This is where it gets hard. By mile 21, I was done. I'm sorry to say, but I was just in so much pain. It's like indescribable pain. I felt it in my back, I felt it in my shoulders, I felt it in my like legs, I felt it in my hamstrings, I felt it in my knees, my joints, the arches in my foot, my ankles. I basically walked from mile 21 to 25. It was so hard. And then at that time, I'm like looking around and there's little kids running by. There's people that are like 99 years old running this thing and they're just like, oh, and there was this one guy that I was kind of pacing with. He was maybe about 50 years older than me, but man, this guy could like, he was kind of like limping like that, but man, he could do, oh man, it's so inspiring. I saw so many people there like in wheelchairs or like in crutches throughout the entire thing. It's just like so motivational, you know, you keep on going and stuff. Wow. When I got to mile 25, that's when I kind of, you know, like speeded it up a little bit. And I'm saying speed it up, but trust me, it wasn't that fast because I was in so much pain. I kind of like, you know, jogged pretty quick, mile 25. It said mile 26. I'm like, oh man, I could see the banner, but yet it was so far. And I'm like looking at it and it's not getting that much closer. Well, I kind of, you know, I was jogging. And finally when I saw it close enough, I'm like, okay, it said mile 26. That's when I booked it. I don't know, the pain, I just set my mind in like this world where I felt no pain. Oh, and the thing that sucks is my iPod died when I reached like a block before mile 26. And I guess I just took too long. My iPod said no more. Like I started running and I literally passed, well, what I think was about 300 people because, you know, by that time everybody's just dying. Everybody's in pain, and I can see all their faces. The last 0.2 miles, I thought, okay, this is gonna be close. You know, doing 3 miles here and there, it's like whatever. I do it around the house, and you know, you kind of get used to it. But these 0.2 miles, they were really far. Finally, like, I see the finish line, and it's this yellow thing, and then, like, there's people all around, like on your right side, on your left side. You turn the curve, and there's just like people cheering and stuff. So I was booking, and I was running, and finally I passed the line. And I look up, and it kind of took me a while, so I won't tell you guys how much I ran it in, but I did it, okay? I passed the line, and I was just trying to catch my breath because I felt all this pain in my lungs, and then finally, like, my veins are, like, telling me, like, they want to burst, you know? It's like, oh, we're dead. I kind of walk over, and you know, there's people giving the medals and stuff. I'm proud of this, you guys. This is my first one. Yeah. There's like people giving the medals, and well, let me see so I can see this. So I went to go grab some Gatorade. I grabbed like 2 cups of Gatorade. I grabbed like 2 bottles of water, drank that, and I was just dying. So then I kind of look up, and I see Ed's cousin, and her name was Fabi. And she was just waiting to, oh, hey, Fabi, what's up? She's like, oh, hey, you finished? And she's just like looking at me, and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, no. I need some Advil or Vicodin or something. So finally, like, I look up, and then Ed comes by. Ed's there, and he's got like the same sort of expression. He's like, I'm done. Thank you, Jesus. I wanted to sit down, and I was just waiting, and I'm like looking at Ed. Come on, Ed, man, let's go already. And he was just waiting there. He was just standing. And I don't know. You guys already know I consider Ed the natural athlete. He's just like looking at me. After the line, you know, they give you your medal, you get your picture, and then you can get to go see your family. Well, I walk over, and then my mom's there with my little brother, and you know, they're really happy, and you know, we got the whole big hug and stuff, and they're really proud of me. So I felt really cool, and then they gave a big hug to Edward because they were proud of him. We walk over, and I see my friends that have been waiting for a long time because it took me forever. You know, they're really happy to see me, and they kind of made a big deal, which made me feel good. So thanks, guys. Oh, hold on, before I get there. Yeah, a really good friend of mine is the one who I'm dedicating this to. She's the one who inspired me, who motivated me, and if it wasn't for her, I would have never done this. I would have never even had the slightest idea of joining the marathon. It's 26.2 miles. What guy in his right mind would want to do that? She wasn't able to run it this time. Unfortunate things happened, and you know, she had to decide not to do it. I know I didn't finish in her time, but it's my first one, and like I said, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have ever done it. So yeah, thank you. We drove home, got home, took a bath. Then the thing that I had been craving for a while was ice cream. I don't, you know, eat too much dairy, and my friends know why. I was planning on going out to eat ice cream, but sure enough, one of my friends calls me. Oh, how'd you do this and that? And, you know, I tell him the story. He's like, oh, I'll just take it to you, you know. Just I called Ed, and let's go all hang out. Okay, and that was pretty much it. That was the whole thing. I want to thank all my sponsors, and you guys rock. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have been able to register for the marathon, because all you guys know that I'm broke right now because I have no job. Thanks again, and it was amazing. If I'll do it again, yeah, I will. Thank you again. If it wasn't for God, I don't think I would have finished. So, thank you. Well, you guys are awesome. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next time.